First, we share a couple of stories that relate to his years in the Army. The stories come from Tim's best-selling book, The Gift. Let's give Toastmaster Tim Ricke a warm welcome.
Yeah, Tim! I was getting ready to go back to architectural school when I got a letter from the President of the United States. As a matter of fact, I have a copy of it right here. Would you like to hear what it says?
Sure.
Yes! It says, greetings. You will report to Fort Knox, Kentucky on April 1st at 0600 hour, 1964. I got the letter actually before that on Friday the 13th. This was looking good. And then I was sworn in April Fool's Day. So I found myself on a train the night before, on the 31st of March, headed down from Chicago to Fort Knox, Kentucky. You remember Goldfinger, where they all, with the gold whistle? I never saw any of that gold, by the way. So when I get there, everything is fine. We go through tests for 2 weeks, and then I'm called into the commander's office, the captain. 2 of us out of 400. He said, gentlemen, we're scared to death. You know, when you get the call from that office, you go home and you go, what did I do wrong? He said, you two have been selected, if you so choose, to go to officer's candidate school. Well, cool. I said, let me know by tomorrow evening, no later than 1,400 hours tomorrow. So I called my fiancée back home. We talked about it, because you know you get 4 years of college after you're done, free. Wow, could finish up. And there's nothing going up over in Vietnam, a couple of advisors, so we know that's safe. Could be a little bit wrong. She promised that she would write me every day. For 20 days, there was no letters. On the 23rd day, I got 19 letters. Was I the envy of the Arabs? You know that. I mean, these guys said, why did you do that? You know, I said, she's just very loyal. She had a constancy about what she was doing. Well, 13 days after the letter, I'm getting there, I'm going through the monkey bars. Remember the monkey bars, your kid?
Oh, yeah.
Well, there was one bar missing on my 4th day, so I reached for it, it wasn't there. Down I went, sprained my ankle. Now, you're in basic training, you're going through a lot of physical labor, and you sprain your ankle. The only problem I had is when I was in the grenade pit. You pull a grenade, now you're going back on this leg. Ow, lucky I got rid of the grenade. But when I walked out, I said, hey, Ricky, what happened? I said, what are you talking about? There's blood in your head. Blood? There's a little spot of blood. What's this? A fragment from that grenade. There's a spool of wire that breaks up inside there, happened to stick into my head. So I asked him, you know, Sergeant, can I get a Purple Heart? He said, no, you got to be in combat. Okay, I'm going to give it a shot anyway. So when they switched my MOS, which was supposed to be communications, to combat infantry, because that was required for OTS, and they shipped me to Fort Jackson, South Carolina. I got there on the 4th of July. Well, nothing's going on. They said, well, you got the afternoon day off, just, you know, go for a swim or something. So I did. I went for a swim. The next day, I got pain in my ear. And I thought, well, you know, I'm tough. I'll get through this. But the following day, it's out to here, and it's really painful. I went to see Top in the office, and I said, what do I do? He said, well, we'll send you down to the dispensary. So I go down to the dispensary. I have my medical records with me, because I just got there and they needed them anyway. So I get up to him, and it says on the front, do not dispense penicillin, allergies. So he looks at my ear, and it's okay. He writes out a prescription, sends me to the back. Nurse back there gives me a shot. Okay, now things really start to happen. They were happy. I lost 30 pounds that month. Did I mention Mary sent me a letter too? It said, dear John. So much for that. So I was having real problems with being my knee one day, my wrist the next day. It just moved around, whatever was in that pen, and I did not know it was penicillin. So the pain was excruciating. And then they gave us problems to work through, all of these things, all of these training, counterinsurgency training. Of course, we didn't know it was going to be Vietnam the following year. And there's a point, at this point, I was going in to see the first sergeant every other day about the pain. Send me back to the doctor. Doctor says he doesn't see anything. This goes on and on. So the captain's thinking this guy's supposed to be going to OCS and he's in here every day, but nobody's finding out what's wrong. So finally, so we're going to have a field problem tomorrow. all day we're gonna go on information search on the site of the enemy, and then we're gonna have combat on that site at night, we're gonna attack. So I go out there today, and I'm dragging, I'm trying to get out, because I'm hurting like crazy. You get out on the site, check it out, go back at night, and the captain says, all right, Ricky, I'm not gonna send you out tonight, why have you walk out to the site tonight? We'll put you on the site as the enemy. Oh, great, because I knew which way they're coming from and everything. So we hop on a truck to take us out there. Now, if you get caught by the other team that's gonna attack, you leave in your boots and your shorts and walk all the way back. Can you imagine that in South Carolina in July? So we get out there and I'm thinking, we gotta do something here. And I had my little team. They knew I was going off to scan. So I had a team, and I said, look, Alpha and Bravo, let's find some combo wire, communication wire, tie between these two trays. But first, let's pick up some of those M79 grade launcher canisters, which look like a tennis ball can. Cut a hole through them, run a string through them, and then drop some rounds in there between the trees. So if you run into that, there'll be a rattle, and we'll know they're there. We're hiding in the back. And the guy that was in there training us before all this took place was a special forces guy that was a jungle expert. So we're worried. So we get out there, we set it up, we wired it all up, tested it, it was great, and sat back. And it seemed like hours. We're sweating, the mosquitoes are everywhere. We're waiting. Did they get by the wire? This guy's next to me, he got by the wire. We're gonna get nailed. We had that long walk back. But all of a sudden, clang, 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 hold me! I won't say, shoot. We caught it. We fired off our blanks, took off, went back, and then they were critiquing the problem. And they had the special forces guy, and it's dark. They got some red flashlights out. That's all they were using. How'd the plan go, Sergeant? Talking to the special forces. Oh, what fine. I said, I beg your pardon. I yelled from the barracks because they couldn't see me up there. He says, yeah, you're right. We got caught. Whoever that guy was out there with his team caught us. So I came down, and he shook my hand, and he put something in my hand. That's what they did. When I got back to the barracks, I took it out, and it said jungle expert. He gave it to me. Because I caught him off guard. But the following day, it's all the time we got left. Geez. Well, the thing is, when I did finally get to the military, I found out I was in the 1st Division. And then as they pulled up in front of the area I'm going, they said, welcome to the 16th Infantry Rangers, which is in this insignia on here. And I said, I'm a Ranger, and I didn't expect to be it. Everybody's cutting me off, so I'll say, thank you, my friend. There you go.